Congress is holding its first hearing on UFOs in more than 50 years. A House Intelligence Subcommittee is probing top defense intelligence officials about what they call unidentified aerial phenomena spotted by military pilots. A Navy official testifying at the hearing now says they have more than 400 reports of encounters. Senior Pentagon reporter Louis Martinez joins me live for more on this. Louis, why hold this hearing now, and what new light could it shed on this ongoing mystery?
Diane, what we're talking about with this hearing is an update to that big UFO report that came out last summer. And what Congress really wants to do here is get to figure out exactly what is going on. They know that their military pilots, as you said, are reporting incidents with these unexplained aerial phenomena, as the Pentagon now calls UFOs. And what they're trying to figure out is, okay, are more pilots stepping forward? And as you just said, 400 new reports. That's up from 144 in last year's report. And that time frame was from 2004 to 2021. Now, the Pentagon officials that are testifying before this House Intelligence Subcommittee today attribute that to the destigmatization of people stepping forward. They're saying that that report last year kind of lifted the stigma of pilots being ridiculed by their peers by saying that they had seen something in the skies. And so that's why Congress is doing this. They see this as a potential threat, and they want the Pentagon and the intelligence community to take it seriously and see if it really is a real national security threat.
Now, Louis, the intelligence report doesn't use the terms alien or extraterrestrial, but it does say these are likely physical objects, and it does not rule out the possibility that they are not of this world. So what else could they be?
Well, they're not ruling it out because they don't really have answers. That's one of the things that report concluded last year. And what we heard today from the senior Navy intelligence official was that remains the case, that a lot of the objects that they are seeing in these videos or that they're tracking on sensors that are either on ships, on aircraft, or maybe even land-based are physical objects, but they just can't explain why they're moving so fast, whether there's something else that could be explaining why these movements are being recorded by sensors. Could it be what they call sensor artifacts, meaning that there's recorded data that just pops up out of nowhere on their sensors while they're in flight. So when they say this, they say they keep their options open, that everything is on the table. But so far, I think at this hearing, they're downplaying the notion that there are extraterrestrial explanations for some of these 400 incidents, but they're going to continue to look through them.
Now, there is one video, though, that officials say they're certain that what's seen in that video is not extraterrestrial. What can you tell us about that?
Right. This is a very famous video that came out about a year ago, and it was leaked. It was previously declassified. You're looking at it there on the screen. You're seeing these pyramid-shaped objects. These were recorded by the crew of a destroyer off the coast of California. There were these multiple objects that were recorded through a night scope. That's why you're seeing it as green. At the time, officials could not explain what we were seeing in that video. Now, the Navy official testifying at this hearing and saying that another video has come to light on the Atlantic coast by a Navy ship there. And what they figured out was that they compared and contrasted between the two, and they found a common element, the pyramid shape. And what they discovered was that there were drones in the vicinity of that ship at the time, and they did some research, and what they think those pyramid shapes is essentially the light from a drone being captured by the night scope and then being recorded by a DSLR camera, and that is what is the pyramid shape. Now, I can tell you fairly certainly that this is not an explanation that is going to be accepted by ufologists or UFO enthusiasts, because they say that how can a drone operate so far off the coast of California or the Atlantic coast? While they're providing answers, at the same time, I think they're going to be providing even more questions to enthusiasts who want the government to pursue this issue very, very seriously.
And so, Louis, what is the Pentagon doing overall to try to provide some more concrete answers about what they're seeing here?
Well, what they've done as a result of that UAP task force, that UAP report that came out last year, is that they established a permanent organization at the Pentagon. This task force is going through all of these incidents, and it's part of the Pentagon's new effort to actually take very seriously all of these reports, because, again, they're seeing this through the filter of, is this a threat to our national security? They want explanations for this. Now, the Pentagon had a program like this from the mid-'50s up until the late 1960s, famously called Project Blue Blue Book, and then it was canceled in 1969. And then since then, the Pentagon really didn't investigate anything related to UFOs up until it quietly started a program in 2017. But then it was a congressional committee, the Senate Intelligence Committee, that demanded and the Intelligence Committee provide new information about UFOs that led to last year's UFO report, that led to the new task force that's been established at the Pentagon, and led to today's hearing.
All right, senior Pentagon reporter Louis Martinez. Thanks, Louis.